guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. Today is July 16th. The MLB All-Star Game was actually enjoyable last night, and Paul Skenes showed up as good as we thought he would. Let's talk about it. So first and foremost, Jake got an opportunity to go to the Home Run Derby on Monday, the All-Star Game last night being his birthday, an extremely fun time for Jake. And so kudos to him on the whole thing. I mean, you know, however you feel about birthdays when you're an adult, but like, I think any time that you get to do something like that and have an excuse to do it, absolutely take advantage of that. And, you know, we all deserve that. So happy birthday to Jake. I didn't say it. So obviously I record these things the night before, so I didn't say it yesterday, but it's not like he was going to listen anyway with all the stuff he had to do. So anyway, Paul Skenes got the start in the All-Star Game while wearing a Pirates uniform. Finally, they went back to that. Seeing everyone in their regular jerseys is always going to be the way to go. The 5 years without that can kind of be erased. We're just going right back to seeing everybody in their uniforms representing their city and their team, and getting an opportunity to see your player for your team show up and he's donning your uniform. I think that means a lot more than just a discolored logo on the hat, you know, for lack of a better word. So I was pleased with the fact that they went back to that, and love seeing Paul Skenes go out there and represent the Pirates in the Pirates uniform. Great job. He strikes out Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, gets Aaron Judge to ground out to second. Kind of a ho-hum 14-pitch outing, 3 whiffs, 9 strikes, exactly what you want to see to start the game. His strikeout to Riley Green, the strikeout pitch to Riley Green, 100.3 miles per hour, is the fastest strikeout pitch of any All-Star Game starter in the pitch tracking era, which is since 2008, which is kind of a weird stat and something that's maybe a little like, okay, how many conditions do we have here? Not the fastest pitch thrown, but the fastest strikeout pitch thrown, and not anybody in the All-Star Game, but the All-Star Game starter. So whatever. But kudos to Paul Skenes kudos are going out for this episode, guys. For Paul Skenes to just continue to find obscure stats and regular stats to kind of set records for all the time. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Just add it to the list of things that our guy, Paul Skenes, can do. The extra things that the All-Star Game came with. I think it's worth saying, like, the All-Star Game is what it is. It's an All-Star Game. Sometimes I even said it on yesterday's show. You can watch the first inning and tune it out if you want. I will watch it. It's baseball. All the things that go on that are baseball, I'm going to be tuned in. That's why I do this stuff, right? Because I love this game. And so for me, it's a no-brainer. Like, the next 2 nights bummed out. Actually, one of the next 2 nights, I'm okay with a day off. But then when it's like back-to-back days off, that's no fun. Anyway, let's just level set on some things here. This is an All-Star Game. I expect to see things that are different. It's an exhibition game. I love the fact that it has nothing to do with the World Series. I thought that was stupid. I actually like the fact that this is exhibition and it's different from a regular season game, from the, whatever goes along with that. Like, it doesn't have to have something tied to it. It doesn't have to mean anything. It can just be an enjoyable time. And the best thing about baseball is that you can do that and the game still looks the same for the most part, right? the game still looks like baseball. You could say, the NFL and the NBA All-Star games or Pro Bowl, if you will. There's no defense. There's no defense. We're not trying to go out there. I mean, NFL makes perfect sense. Like, listen, nobody, or at least you could, but you probably shouldn't wish that they went out there and played hard. You don't want that. It's a full contact sport. It's violent. It's not something for an exhibition game to go out there and take that risk. It's silly. The NBA, I think, because it's a mid-season thing and because it's just they're not going to go 100%. And I think that's understandable. You're getting your time off. Baseball's set up in a way where, like, if you're in the All-Star game, most of these guys are going to get 2 at-bats, 1 or 2 at-bats, and you're going to get kind of limited opportunities to really go out and try. So you can go out and try. If you hit a ground ball to short, you don't sprint down the first baseline. That's fine. It's an exhibition. But Stephen Kwan in the 9th inning hit an infield that had a chance to get an infield hit. You better believe he's going to be busting it down the line. And anybody will, because game is still going to take over. And you're getting an opportunity to face these big time pitchers. And for the pitchers, you're getting an opportunity to go through a gauntlet of hitters who have been having a great year. And so all of those things put together, like, there's still a competitive edge. These guys are going to go out there. I think Paul Skenes was quoted as saying, I'm throwing 1 inning. I'm going to go out there and let everything rip. You know what I'm saying? And so, and maybe I paraphrase that. I think he said, I'm going to throw everything as hard as I can or something. But that's exactly like the game of baseball, even when it's not everything on the line, can still be played in a way that looks familiar and looks similar to the game that we watch every night, because you only have to do a little bit of it. With that said, I still like the All-Star game is still kind of chaotic and at times it can be a little underwhelming if you're hoping to go into it. I like to go into it a little more relaxed. I want to actually see things like guys mic'd up. Tarek Skubal and Cal Raleigh mic'd up in the first inning. I don't know if I would have done it quite that way, but no, it's entertainment. This is an exhibition game. It's not about, I don't want to say hate, it's a little too strong, but I don't like that kind of stuff in a regular season game. I think it's a distraction. But the All-Star game's okay to be a little bit distracted. And I really, I like that. So Clayton Kershaw mic'd up and was hilarious, because it's not just mic'd up, right? They're having a conversation with him, and he's a little different. Like, he didn't shut it down and then deliver his pitch. He was right there mid pitch, mid wind up. Clayton Kershaw's out there talking. Hilarious moment when he tells John Smoltz, I don't throw a cutter, Smoltzy. That was hilarious. Go back and watch the clip. He's in mid windup yelling at the broadcaster, which is obviously Hall of Famer John Smoltz. But to me, that was entertainment. I actually enjoyed when you go into it saying this is an all-star game. I really enjoyed that kind of thing. And then on to the next thing. We still talking about guys mic'd up, but someone a little closer to our hearts, but Jack Wilson and his son Jacob Wilson mic'd up at the same time. Jack in the stands, Jacob at shortstop. And that was just incredible. Obviously, like I said, we love Jack Wilson, Bucko, all the things. But just a really cool thing to do that you just didn't expect, right? And there was more of it. There was more of it here, more of it. Exhibition games, I'm all about this kind of stuff. Regular season games, no, don't do that, right? We don't need those things. We don't need distractions. We don't need that type of whatever you want to call it. I can't think of a word that really matches what we're talking about here. Guys, I mean, if you didn't watch the game, it's totally understandable. Like, listen, this is coming from like a guy who just loves baseball. And so I can appreciate things that you don't have to. But if you didn't watch, you have to go back and watch video of the Hank Aaron tribute that they did during this game. All about home run 715. And I'm telling you, that was one of the coolest things I have ever seen. I said in one of the text messages I had that we were sent on there, like, not only one of the coolest things I've ever seen, but like something that I would never even imagine. Not that it's not possible, but like I wouldn't even have thought of it to even think, would that be possible? It was incredible. I don't want to spoil a whole lot, but essentially, like, the infield was a projector for video. And then they took pieces of that video and made it, like, cut it in a way that, like, the pitcher looked like he was on the mound and the fielders at the bases and Hank Aaron up to bat. You have to watch what they did. It wasn't just a video. They had the interaction of the baselines. There were things. The video was only in the infield. It didn't go in foul territory. It didn't go into the outfield grass. It was in the shape. The home run trajectory. And like I said, you have to go watch this. I don't want to spoil it for you because I think the wow factor is really cool. The fireworks, when the home run went off, the stadium did fireworks as if there was a home run. Just a really incredible tribute and something that like I said, I wouldn't even imagined. And I believe I watched a part of it kind of with my mouth open in kind of shock and awe. You can't get a stadium to be quiet anymore. And it was quiet. It was, I think, just the shock, or not shock, I don't know if that's the word, but the wow factor of it just had people in awe watching this. And it really was really cool. Seek that. It's all over Twitter, that you don't have to go hard, but like also look for like fan videos, or MLB put up the video from the broadcast, but they also put up a video of just from the, like from behind home plate, like a big of the whole thing. And it never moves. So you get to see everything that they sort of did around the stadium as part of it, but really cool. Putting subtitles and whatever else in the outfield and in the, so cool, man. What a tribute. What a really cool thing to do. I like I said, wouldn't even have thought about it. Incredible. And then we get all the way to the game ending in a tie. Now, I'm sitting here watching this and I'm thinking they're going to tie this game. Matt Olson's up fourth. It almost looks scripted that they're going to tie this game and Matt Olson's going to hit a walk-off something. And it wasn't. Obviously, they don't script these things. I know that, tinfoil hats, we want to believe that sometimes, but it's not. But at the same time, it could have been scripted to create the first ever All-Star Game swing-off. Now, we got to talk about this because I think there's going to be mixed opinions about what happened at the end of that game. First and foremost, it's an All-Star Game. It's an exhibition game. They're out of pitchers. There is no extra innings. The game ends in a tie. I'm going to start there because I hate ties. Ties should never happen in any sport for any reason. Figure out a way to get a winner and do that. Ties are dumb. And I like that baseball doesn't have ties. I know there are situations where they will allow a tie if it has no playoff implications and so on. And you know what? Maybe that's fair. If you don't want to have a tie, then be in the mix, right? But what they did was they picked 3 players from each team. Doesn't matter if they were in the lineup, if they had been taken out of the lineup, none of that matters. It's an exhibition game anyway, so who cares? You pick 3 players. They each get 3 swings. You alternate each team. You get 3 swings, not outs, not nothing. The one team with the most home runs in the end wins the game. I'm going to say, like, first off, like, so Jake's there. He's loving every minute of it. So when you look at the perspective of like somebody who's at the game, I was actually texting with Jake, and I was texting with the guys from the 3-0 Take in our group chat for our fantasy league, and they're all at the game and they all love it. That's only a small sample, right? So take that as you will. But like for the people in attendance, this was a really cool thing. Nobody wants to see a tie. You may as well figure out a way to get a winner, however, whatever that looks like. This was a pretty cool way to do it. Brent Rooker, Randy Arozarena, and Jose, I think it's Jose. I apologize. Aaron Boone picking a Ronda. What are you doing, man? To close the whole thing out, too. He's got 11 home runs. Anyway. And then it was Stowers, Schwarber, and Alonso on the National League side in order. Rooker hit 2, Arozarena hit 1, Aranda goes 0-for. And the fact that he went 0-for was right after Stowers hit 1. Schwarber went 3-for-3, an epic performance. And John Smoltz probably could stop telling us that we don't understand how hard it is. I think that we get it. I think baseball fans get it. That's not easy. We get it. Anyway, 3-for-3, unbelievable. And Aranda goes 0-for, which means Pete Alonso doesn't even have to hit. He doesn't get a chance to win it for the National League, which I think is hilarious. I'll leave that where it's at, but I think that's hilarious. I had fun with this. I thought this was a really cool way to end the All-Star game. Fantastic job. And listen, if we're gonna consider keeping the Manfred runner on second base in extra innings, I would put the swing off on the table as an option to figure out how to get a winner once we get to a certain point in the game. I understand this is like recency bias talking about this because I just had fun watching that. I'm not selling out to the idea. I understand that I just had fun watching that and I haven't thought a lot of things through. And keep listening. I'm just saying, I'm putting it on the table for discussion. Now, in all reality, get the runner off second base and play the game of baseball that we love and find a winner by playing baseball. But if we're going to use arcade style stuff like automatic runners, consider this as an option. Go 12 innings and then say, we're done with the innings. We're having a swing off. We've given it 3 extra innings and you guys couldn't score runs or you couldn't come up with a winner. So here's a swing off after 12 innings. That's all I'm saying. Also, just don't do that and just play baseball and get the Manfred runner off second base. So I'm only saying this because first off, exhibition game, all-star game, continue to do this. This was a ton of fun. Regular season, I don't want to see it, but I also don't want to see the Manfred runner. So we're already at a place where I'm saying I don't like it. But really, really fun for the All-Star game. I really believe that. That was the most fun that I've had watching an All-Star game in a long time. Excuse me, I still need water here. The most fun I've had watching an All-Star game in a long time. It's usually good for a few things. Mostly anything from your own team, right? And then you're kind of out. You're kind of out on it. This year was packed full of cool things. The Hank Aaron stuff. Now, there's a lot of things that happen in the beginning. I think MLB needs to be more clear about when the first pitch is. When you see SNP Pittsburgh say there's a game Friday night, SNP, what am I calling this thing? SMP, what? Sportsnet Pittsburgh. I don't have to say P and then Pittsburgh. It's like ATM machine. You don't have to say that. When Sportsnet Pittsburgh puts out an ad saying there's a game Friday night, it's always going to say it starts at 6 p.m. Friday night, 6 p.m. Friday night, 6 p.m. If you look on MLB.com and the box scores or the previews of the probable pitchers, it's going to say 7:05 because first pitch is at 7:05. But the channel doing the broadcasting is going to tell you when they start for the game. This was all 8 o'clock. Fox, MLB, everything, 8 o'clock. You turn it on at 8 o'clock. First off, you found out they've already been going for 30 minutes. And then second thing you find out is they're going to go for 30 minutes more. just give me a first pitch. If it's going to be at 8:30 and I don't want to watch all the stuff at the beginning, my problem is I'm like saying, I can't be late. I can't be late. My goodness, Paul Skenes pitches in the first inning. You said 8 o'clock. I'm showing up at 8 o'clock. If it's 8:05, I'm kind of like, dang, I'm going to miss the first inning. And then turns out I had 25 more minutes to go before the game even started. Give us a first pitch. I know you want us to see all your programming and see the guys being announced. And some people aren't interested. You got to give it for the both. Now, I would still try to be there by 8, but I wouldn't be rushing to be there by 8. I wouldn't change my plans for the day to say, well, I at least have to be home at 7:55 so I can be on at 8, so on and so forth. Give us a first pitch time so that anybody who doesn't want to see all that stuff at the beginning, which was wild in this. To me, bad start on this All-Star game. The rest of once baseball started, it was fantastic. Bad start. Okay. But beyond that, really great. Really great. Chock full of good things. Every city that hosts the All-Star game does a great job every year. But what MLB did this year and what Atlanta did with the Hank Aaron tribute was incredible, and I'm giving them kudos for that. This was actually an enjoyable, more than enjoyable, like because I can enjoy it. I can kick back and enjoy an All-Star game. This one had me a little bit excited, right? As much as an exhibition game could. The game just took care of it. From team jerseys all the way to the swing off, MLB got this one mostly right, and it was enjoyable. As you see on my TV, Paul Skenes back there doing some post-game stuff. He was obviously the only Pirates player in this game, but a couple ties involved as well. Aroldis Chapman pitched the final half inning of this game in regulation. And I already talked about the Jack Wilson thing, being mic'd up, watching his son on the field. That was incredible. So there were some ties, but obviously for Pirates fans, not having all-stars on this team does kind of dampen the excitement of something like this. If you're mostly a Pirates fan and just like the sport, but don't follow the rest of the teams, this could be underwhelming for you. This would have been, I'll watch the first inning and I'll watch a YouTube video later of the Hank Aaron tribute and the swing off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll get your fix. You didn't have to stay up late. Guys, I'm tired. It is almost 1 a.m. at the time of recording this. So, like, I get it. I don't miss stuff like this. That's why, like I said, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I enjoy this so much. Anyway, that's it for the All-Star festivities. They're all over. Pirates will have a couple days off now. They'll be back at it Friday. I have 2 more of these shows this week. 2 boring nights without baseball. I know I said this. I can deal with 1 day off, but the second day, come on, man. Right? I'm going to have to find something else to do. Have a pizza party or something. Major League Baseball, we like to complain a lot about the things that you do. I even did so in this 20 minutes here. 25 minutes. Let's go. This was exciting. But this week was really good. This week was really good. Good job. Kudos to you. I'll give you claps because this was good. Like I said, it's almost 1 a.m. at the time of recording this. I'm going to bed. I've got to go to work in the morning. Back at it tomorrow, guys. Always appreciate you guys listening. Stay tuned the rest of the week and tell somebody else about the show. Tell somebody else to go out to the YouTube and subscribe. And if you're not, let's see if we can boost those YouTube subscribers up for us. That's all we have for today. Back at it tomorrow, guys. Let's go, Bucks.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming, and let's go Bucks!